Something I'm surprised that hasn't gotten more attention across the major American-based anti-imperialist websites that focus a lot on Latin American affairs. I'm even surprised outlets like Democracy Now! And Al Jazeera and Press TV, and again others that focus both on Latin American and Middle East, West Asian affairs have completely overlooked this, and that is Erik Prince and his meddling in Venezuelan affairs. Let me just remind our audience who might not know this. So Erik Prince is the founder and CEO of a major private mercenary army, which the U.S. employed to deal with Iraqi rebellions against the Western occupation of Iraq, and was involved in countless massacres of Iraqi protesters, unarmed protesters against the occupation, and has also been implicated in a lot of prisoner of abuse scandals and more. And you can find out more about Blackwater, Erik Prince's companies, if you watch interviews with Jeremy Scahill, who was a former Democracy Now! Producer, Intercept podcaster, Nature correspondent, and now founder of Drop Site News. And people can get his book, his muckraking book on Blackwater, which is Blackwater, The Rise of the World's Most Powerful Mercenary Army. And Blackwater, because of the bad press they received from Scahill, changed their name several once, and they're now currently known as Constellas Holdings. So, Jesus, can you talk to us about some of the uh, yes, can you just talk to us about Erik Prince's involvement in Venezuelan affairs and how, because and if this doesn't get people to know that the Venezuelan opposition is not this noble oppositions, but their involvement with Erik Prince, that should generate red flags amongst leftists, especially those who are mostly devoted to Latin American and Middle Eastern affairs. So, Jesus, what's your response to yeah, what can you tell us about Erik Prince's involvement with the Venezuelan opposition? And then Saheli, what's your response as well?
Yes, there. We in Venezuela face like a very a terrible and very bad organized military mercenary incursion in 2020. We call it Operación Gideon, uh, and uh, and it was thwarted very easily by Venezuelan authorities, I believe, because we had intelligence that let us know in advance what was going to happen. Actually, Venezuelan authorities denounced publicly that that operation was happening, it was being organized in Colombia. And Colombian authorities at the time, are talking about the government of Ivan Duque,
Yeah.
did not know nothing, and they were actually supporting it, as far as we know in Venezuela. But people say that, Venezuelan far-right opposition signed a contract with a mercenary named Goudreau, a Canadian, then become U.S. citizen, that have this mercenary firm. But people say that before reaching Goudreau, the opposition, the far-right opposition, the fake interim president of Venezuela, Juan Guaido, and his clones, they tried to reach Erik Prince before reaching Gadro, but allegedly uh, it was too expensive to do business with Prince, so they decided to the cheaper option. So anyway, that's like the first thing that I know, at least, or that I remember right now about Erik Prince being related to Venezuela. Then he anyway has been an outspoken anti-Chavista person. His anti-Chavismo has been uh, is not new, but last year, before the election, the right wingers, in their desperation, I'm talking about, I believe that it happened from September, October last year, they began with this campaign called Ya Casi Venezuela, something that you might translate like, we are almost there, Venezuela, or we are about to do it, or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yes. So they began this fundraising. They never tell anyone what was it about, but everyone knew that it's just to finance a mercenary incursion in Venezuela. And they collected some people talk about a few $millions, but the target was 100 million. That's what actually Erik Prince has been talking about, like the minimum needed to organize a mercenary incursion to kill President Maduro and invade Venezuela or whatever they think that they will be able to do in Venezuela. So they use that to create some sort of anxiety and psychological warfare against Venezuelans ahead of the inauguration of President Maduro on January 10th. So they did the job because the government was pretty, on alert during the days before the inauguration of President Chavez, and actually they thwarted several and they in jail several mercenaries, foreign mercenaries, just during those months. So the government was very active. The Venezuelan government was very active trying to thwart that operation, and I believe that they did thwarted it. But
Eric Prince's involvement in Venezuelan affairs was that during the Obama administration continued on the Trump administration, or did that start during the Trump administration?
I believe that at least from what I know, it began during Trump's times, the third term of Donald Trump. He, especially because he brags that he is close to Trump, and he uses that to leverage and to have attention, international attention. So anyway,
Yeah,
the fundraising kept going, and then somewhere by mid-February, they stopped informing their followers of the people that put money in their fundraising what was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, Erik Prince send a tweet or something like that, uh, 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 telling people that they cannot, or he said in an interview or something like that, that they cannot talk about the details of what they are planning, but that the operation is still going, and they will inform in a timely manner about the next steps. That's the last thing that I know that Erik Prince said, and that was somewhere around mid-February. And there's people, right wingers in Venezuela, that are like, what the heck is happening that these guys are not giving us any information, especially because there's some people that put a lot of money there, and they are uh, uh, tell me like upset by what is happening, and they feel that there's some sort of fraud
yeah,
moving around, the whole initiative, especially because also there were very dark Venezuelan organizers from Florida that become part of the accounting and fundraising management and whatever, and those dark people are have not very good
Reputation.
reputation, even among right wingers from Florida, and that's a lot. So that's basically what the latest things about that particular case. But their attempts of doing some sort of mercenary operation against Chavismo, against Maduro, is there, and they are pushing for that to happen, and they don't know what they are going to encounter there, because Chavismo is not something that you can destroy with a few mercenaries. So they're gonna crash with reality if they dare to even try to do something like that in Venezuela.